So I'm adding 1.5 sticks of butter to a saucepan. So this is called a bechamel sauce. This is the beginning of your cheese sauce for your baked mac and cheese. A bechamel is basically butter and flour, which is also made for a roux, but you're gonna add the milk for a bechamel sauce. 1.5 sticks of butter is 12 tablespoons of butter. So then So I'm adding my flour, and I'm gonna do about 5 tablespoons to start with. We've got 12 tablespoons of butter. We wanna see if this gets to the consistency. That was 4, 5, I think that was 5. I can always add more. Get that combined. And you really wanna keep this moving. We're gonna also make sure that we're stirring out that floury flavor. Nobody wants to eat plain flour, so you're gonna cook out that floury flavor. So when you make a bechamel, like I said before, it's butter, flour, and milk. I like to use heavy cream also. It just makes it a little more savory. Nice thick cheese sauce. I'm gonna add just a teeny bit more flour, not even a full tablespoon. And I'll continue adding flour until this gets to the consistency that I want it to get to, which is not quite as thick as I would if I was making a roux, which I would have it, when I separated the spoon, I would have it stay separated for longer. This is just kind of collects back very quickly. Now, some people add the same parts butter and flour. I think that's way too much. But we've done about half parts flour to butter. Like again, I said I had 12 tablespoons of butter, which is 1.5 sticks, and I've added 6 tablespoons of flour. And this is the milk. And this is just cooking on a medium to low heat, and I continue to keep it moving so that it doesn't burn. It is a little bit of work, but it's so much better to do something like this than it is to just eat a box of macaroni and cheese or a box of potatoes au gratin. And by the way, since I said that, this is the same base that I use when I make potatoes au gratin and when I make cauliflower au gratin. The same cheese sauce that starts with a bechamel. Even tablespoon, because I feel like it looks a little oily, and since we've got that heavy cream, we don't want it to be tasting like we're just eating fat. Cook out that last bit of flour, and you see that this is thickening up nicely. It's thickening up really nicely. Cooking at a low heat. Now I've got my heavy cream and milk in the microwave just so that it's heated up enough so it doesn't curdle. Tempering this flour and butter mixture. Okay, you see how thick it's getting already?
Yeah.
We're tempering it to make sure that it's not too hot, so go ahead and pour the rest of the milk in there. You just want to,
The rest?
well, yeah. We're tempering this. Bring the temperature of the butter down a little bit. Okay.
All of it?
Yeah, you can pour the rest. Thank you, ma'am. So I may add more milk to this once I get it On a roll, I'm gonna increase the heat a little bit. We're also gonna be adding our Velveeta cheese. And I have not added any salt to this yet, but I'm gonna add salt as well. So now I'm gonna add salt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. That was 20 rounds on the sea salt grinder. I didn't do that on purpose. I just felt like that was a good amount of salt. Because the pasta water was salted. The cheese is also fairly salty, but you do need to add salt to your cheese sauce. Okay, we're gonna let this cook up and thicken up. It's gonna thicken up really nicely. And in the meantime, I am going to cut up my block of Velveeta cheese. And I've got a half a block in here. I used the other half for something else previously, but I'm gonna cut up the rest of this Velveeta because we're gonna add this to the bechamel to make it a cheese sauce. The cheese knife, that's good for cutting soft cheeses because you've got the holes here, so the soft cheese just comes off the side. So our bechamel is thickening up nicely. It does take a little bit of time, but it is thickening up nicely. Now for a bechamel, I add white pepper. I do not add black pepper. I don't like the way it looks, so I add some white pepper. White pepper is not as potent as black pepper, so you can feel free to add just a little bit more. And I'm also gonna put just a tiny bit of garlic powder in this, just to give it a little extra something. A really little bit. It's thickening up so nice. It's almost ready for the cheese. I would say it's ready for the cheese now. I did taste test to make sure that there was enough salt, and I added a little bit of iodized salt. I'm adding in our Velveeta cheese blocks now. This was a large block of Velveeta. I'm just gonna melt really, really nicely. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit because I feel like it's moving pretty quick here. Look how beautiful this cheese sauce has turned out. It is thick and creamy and cheesy and delicious. We'll pop our mac and cheese covered in foil in the oven. It's pretty heavy, so make sure you're ready for that. It's gonna be in there for about 30 minutes on 375. Yay!